Hello Internet, this is Joel. I'm your Zen Map and welcome to the channel. I just wanted to get started here at my starting point of Moon Motorsports in Monticello, Minnesota. These guys are great. I bought a couple of bikes from them, most recently a Yamaha R7, but this time I had my Yamaha FJR in for service. A lot of things done. Wanted to make sure that I didn't have a bad day out in the middle of somewhere on the East Coast in the Northeast. So I thought I'd start getting here. They've done a great job getting me fixed up, and we'll kind of introduce you to my FJR, the bike I call Big Blue, and that's what I'm going to be riding for about the next, I don't know, 5,000 or so miles. And we'll kind of go from there. I'll kind of walk you around over to their service area. By the way, these guys are about a half-hour ride from my house in the northwest edge of the Twin Cities. And here's the service department over here. And my ride is the Big Blue one. It's a 2006 Yamaha FJR. A lot of horsepower. It's been overdue for many servicings on everything from oil to brake pads to hydraulics to final drive oil, since it is a shaft drive, to oh god, a new battery. It was a lot of things that it needed just to kind of make sure that it would be safe for the trip, checking all the coolant hoses, replacing headlight, taillight bulbs, stuff that could make for a bad day in the middle of who knows where out in the Northeast. So it's ready to go now. This is a 2006, if I didn't mention that. Love this bike. It is one of the best street touring bikes or sport. And there isn't anything about this bike I don't love. The only couple of modifications I put on it are these adjustable levers, which allows me to adjust how close they are to the grip, so it makes it much easier for me to customize for my riding style. I added the Sergeant seats on the back of it. Those are a nice add, and when my wife does ride with me, I did a peg lowering kit down here. It actually kind of puts the pegs lower and forward, so it's a little easier to get on and off. And I do have another separate windshield, but I decided I'm going to use the stock one for this trip. And then a few mods, like obviously my Garmin phone mount, this is my GoPro mount. So all those little things that you need when you're getting ready to go. And we'll call this good. I'm going to get on and get going, go do a test pack. I've got the hard bags for this bike, so obviously I'm going to add those in a trunk pack. But I gotta make sure I can get everything packed and fit in there. So here we go. It's the start of a 24-day adventure out to the Northeast. So I'm calling this one 2022 East. Next year I'm thinking a different direction. So we'll see where this goes. Thanks for watching. As always, I appreciate it if you would subscribe. That would be much appreciated. Not trying to become some social media star, just like to have people enjoy the things I'm doing, and lots more on the road video to come. Thanks again. So continuing from where I was yesterday, here's Big Blue ready for travel. It was kind of an interesting process getting everything packed in here. I've got one saddlebag here full of camping related stuff. The other is clothes, extra pair of shoes, got the tent and poles strapped down, got a camping chair strapped down. Had to swap around a little bit on the dashboard here to have screens on the left and then my GoPro mount on the right so that it wouldn't interfere with my rear view mirror on the left side. So pretty efficiently laid out. I'll go into detail at another point in time about what ended up on the in each bag, or kind of the process. I actually did pretty well, not knowing fully how much I would need, but ended up with only having to kind of take back out like 2 or 3 shirts, something like that. So this is our we're fortunate to have a second garage at our house, so we have a few other choice machines in here. But this is the one that obviously I'll be riding. And just one quick shout out before I and begin the first day of the riding. Let me turn the camera back around here on me. So I'd like to give a shout out to Jessica Zalusky and the ZARS riding school, or advanced riding school, wearing their shirt, kind of repping them here. I will just say that I've gone through probably over 100 hours of on-track drills, instruction, track days, things like that. Jessica is an awesome person. She used to race pro with Kawasaki back a few years ago, and if it wasn't for that training, I don't think I would really have the skills to do a ride like this. So I just want to acknowledge that, and also, you know, just the process that it takes to become good enough as a rider to do something like this. Anyway, the other thing that was interesting, on the way back from Moon, I stopped at the hardware store to get, I had them order a key blank to get a new key cut, since I only have the one, and going to the hardware store, and they kind of screwed it up. As the dad joke goes, there's something wrong with this board, I cut it 3 times, it's still too short. Well, they kind of screwed it up, and they said, well, I guess we owe you a replacement key, how much is it? Fortunately, I had the paperwork from Moon for all the work they'd done. Pulled it out and showed them it's 23 bucks for a blank key, so they're gonna have to eat that cost. And Moon's ordered me another one, and maybe I'll have a replacement key by the time I get back from my trip. But anyway, today's ride, I'm gonna be heading to Oshkosh, Wisconsin, so I probably won't do much onboard video. It's pretty straight east. There's not, I mean, it's an interesting route. I may turn the camera on here and there if there's, you know, just some nice open sweepers, but it's not like I'll be riding through mountains or things like that. The plan is to stay overnight in Oshkosh. I'm going to stop at the EAA Museum, so I'll probably do a little footage of that. That's the Experimental Aircraft Association Museum, and hang out there. It's been 15 some years since I visited that place, and it'll be a fun day. So enjoy. Thanks for watching. Again, appreciate the subscriptions if you feel so inclined. Bye. Well, made it to Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I didn't do any filming of the ride over here. It was several hundred miles, pretty much freeway, and I figure you see freeway, it's all kind of the same, even though Wisconsin is beautiful, and it's been a lovely blue sky kind of day, 75 degrees, a lot of opportunities to smell the Wisconsin dairy air. Anyway, we are here in Oshkosh at the EAA Air Museum. The EAA, if you don't know, is Experimental Aircraft Association. I think it's probably been 15 years since I was last here. So thought I'd stop in, hang out, walk around, get the cramps out of my leg, and then I've got an Airbnb I'm staying at here in Oshkosh. But just gonna go enjoy some aircraft and look at all kinds of things. I think those of you that know me pretty well know that I have a real weakness for anything with 2 wheels, and I have a bigger weakness or affinity for things with 2 wheels and a motor. And I have an affinity for things with more than 2 wheels and a motor. And then I also have a affinity for things with wheels, motors, and wings. So, hey, I got all of them covered here. Anyway, I'll see if I can film a little bit inside. It's a very cool place. Highly recommended if you ever get to Oshkosh. That's it, I think, maybe for today. Okay, I lied. A little more filming today. This is the inside of the EAA Museum. It's pretty amazing. A lot of incredible aircraft going back all through history. And even a miniature of the Zeppelin.
watch the mechanism go and you watch the indicator telling you where it is. But you're trying to get it down as soon as you realize you're below supersonic speed. And at that point, for me, it was just a complete relief because I knew that the diesel tank.
And the museum has an entire wing dedicated to military aircraft as well. They call this the Eagle Hangar. Quite a place. In my opinion, there has never been a more beautiful aircraft than this one here, the F-86 Sabrejet. This is a 1950s Korean War vintage or era plane. It just has lines that are amazing. For those of you classmates and friends that grew up in the Canal Zone, you may remember, or maybe not, outside of the VFW, the Albrook VFW just outside the gate from Corundu, there was an F-86 Sabrejet there that you actually pocket. I always wondered what happened to it. Hopefully it got recovered and restored somewhere, but just every time I see this plane, it's like, wow. Yeah, it's a thing of war, I get it, but it's also a thing of beauty.